Okay, that should be working, theoretically. Let me just make sure that the audio is working. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I've managed to do this consistently for 2 weeks now, I guess. Um, I'm not making any patterns that I'm actually going to sell today because I feel like it's a little bit too. I mean, like I traced these. I traced these shapes like directly from the sprite, but these are gonna be for a cosplay. I just need to get the patterns done so I can print them out in fabric so I can sew up the cosplay. I've made this one previously, like a little while ago, but I do have to recolor it because I also want that shirt and it's the same pattern. So what I really need to do is do some recoloring. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. What did I do? What did I do? Why is it not doing what it should? Oh, that's why. There's that. That's what I meant to do. Okay. So the idea is that that is the background for the trousers print. Then go here, add a regular layer. Grab that color. That's gonna look really bad because it's not like at all. Look, okay. Now have that. We're gonna have to redo this. So that goes there. Everything for the coloring on the print itself here is going to go in there. And nope, that's going to go in there as well. None of that. That's that. Okay, there we go. And now we can make another group layer that goes up there. Go and grab this red color. That. So theoretically, yeah, it'll work. It's a very loud shirt, definitely, but I mean, it's a very loud shirt there. Yes, basically, and then I can go here and go between the patterns. So now we've got the pattern for the trousers and then the shirt in the after credits outfit. Now we need to do some of the other patterns. So in here, we have this kind of map pattern. And then on his, in the first part he appears and he's got this cape that's got an actual battle map on it. So I'll do the battle map next. But first, I'm going to do this because I want to get these two shirts made because these are actually going to be in my regular wardrobe rotation as well as part of the cosplay. Or at least this one is. I don't know about the really loud one yet. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is probably 25 by 25 is good enough for a grid. Um, what's the image size again? Oh, I resized it, so now I don't remember. Okay. Massive canvas size, but that's fine because my computer can handle it. Okay, let's try 16. That'll get us 25 and 25. Oh, there's also a mountain. So that mountain and that mountain are not the same, but they can be the same in order to make this feasible pattern. So the pattern on his shirt is a lot harder to recreate because if you look at the way that it was drawn here, you can see right here where the seam of the trousers are. You can see how that sword continues. Same thing here at the gather, where and here and here. So basically, the way that I think the artists did it for the game is that they had this pattern, whether it was a repeating pattern or just kind of the items placed as a separate layer, and then quite literally, like I did with the texture on those on that mask, is they just kind of overlaid it on top of the layer that was the trousers. And probably added the shadows on. And so what that meant is that I was able to, and I had to resize it so you can't really see it. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, no, you can't see it. But I was able to make the individual little assets and then overlay them on top of what you can see the trousers, and then just kind of like extend that until it was a repeating pattern. And then finagle it so that it works. This is harder because if you look, those grid lines and those grid lines are at different angles. So it wasn't, there's a completely different angle from the collar there, which means that this wasn't one image that they put on. They actually drew this kind of on top of those. They probably still use the same masking technique, but they drew it directly on top instead of having it all there already. So what I'm gonna end up doing is probably what we're gonna We're gonna do this the cheating way. Then I've got to go into screenshots folder. Okay, then over here it looks like we've got some islands and some um, islands on the shoreline. So then we will drag that over here and resize it. Sorry, it curves a little bit, but we don't need it to line up exactly. We just need it to be the right size. That's probably good enough. Okay. Let's do that because then actually, let's just go ahead and make the background that color right now. So it'll be better to but we're gonna make it that color, I think. Basically, this is a lake and that's a river feeding in and out of the lake. So what I'm thinking, because I'm way too nerdy and I want this map to actually make sense, is that this river is then going to feed into this basin right here. So this is, it's almost like it's kind of a shoreline, but it could also theoretically be a bigger lake. Don't necessarily want to do like a big stripe across it. It's like theoretically, I could basically make this go there and make that go there. But then that would be just a big stripe across it. So I think that instead, I want to make this kind of like that. And then probably I'm going to want another big lake in the middle here. Let's look at this. It's definitely a big mountain here. That looks like it could be a part of a river, yeah? So maybe that can go in there, which means that that's a slightly bigger river. Yeah. this can drain here, yeah? And one can go there. No, that's not how rivers work. That's not how rivers work at all, Mish. Okay. You know you're a nerd when you're when you're trying to make the rules of the map that'll be visible in like maybe 10% of your cosplay follow like actual geographic rules. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good repeat. I do wonder if I should maybe, because I could get rid of those. And that's pretty obvious that that's a repeat. So I'm wondering. No, because if I do that, then maybe. So I'm wondering if I should maybe. Okay. Well, we haven't saved this yet. Okay, that's important. There we go. So we're gonna kind of do just like little round islands there in all of the deltas. So that's all of the places. We're gonna leave that one alone. Here, all of the places where water drains out. So that's where we'll get things like that. Go on the other side. There we go. Just doing blobs now because we are going to find them in a moment. Oh, okay, we're going to actually do this the way that deltas are formed. Big blob there, yeah? Big blob there. And big blob there. This is why geography is important in art. Let's you be a super nerd. And delta there. You know what? I want to put an oxbow lake somewhere in here. Sorry, I'm now nerding out about geography, and river mechanics. I'm gonna put an Oxbow Lake right here. Yeah. Okay. Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake. Yeah. Yeah. Oxbow Lake. So we only want a couple of really big mountains, and one of them obviously is going to be here. Okay. You know that. That. And this is going to kind of down here, and then it's going to turn into some hills. That's obviously going to be a hill. That's going to be a hill because that's going to be like a little valley in there. Be like a little hill there. Okay, yeah, that's like one big mountain range, isn't it? Yeah, no problem. I mean, like, yeah. Yeah, we've kind of got. And now we gotta put some forests in. The forests, it's interesting. So we've got what looks like a forest there. I don't really like, that's not the way that I do forests when I draw them, so I might, um, just do forests my way and see if it works. Do I have enough? Yeah, I think I have enough. Okay, we can start with inking now, which is like eek. And I'll start with the mountains first, I think. Both because that's the ones that intimidates me the most, and because it theoretically should be the thing that is oh, I'm definitely gonna need to spend some more time inking this. Wow, I'm running out of steam. Okay, I am thinking it's also pretty close to the time I was gonna end the stream. So I'm thinking that I will finish the mountains. So I think I've just got this bit to do. So I'll finish that. And then I will call it a day. Right when I was about to. I guess I'll be streaming for a little longer then. um, so this is it looks horrible now because I'm using colors to remind me what's what. But I am working on a Chance cosplay from Date Everything. Um, and because I make um, there we go. Because I make patterns, I'm able to take all of the very, very detailed bits of clothing, and instead of trying to paint or like emboss or embroider on all the details, I'm able to actually print out fabric that I make the cosplay out of. You know all of this. I am just narrating. Um, and so I'm right now I'm working on that shirt. So I've got I've got these little bits of the shirt that you can see. Every time I come on, someone tries to sell me views, and I'm like, that's not why I'm doing this. This is just the easiest way to get B-roll footage. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell myself. I'm not allowed to be self conscious because, like, I get caught up on like the little details, like that gap right there, that overlap, all of that stuff. But then when I zoom out, because you're not gonna see that, you're gonna see that. And there's gonna be all sorts of. Actually, no, that is something I need to fix. But anyway, everything else is going to be hidden by texture and just lost in the folds because, like, I have to remind myself that the digital art is not the final product. Final product is whatever I make with the fabric. Well, I've got like 10 more minutes. I'll do the inking on the rivers and lakes as well. Yeah, so I need to still figure out background music. I actually have music playing in the background for me. I may be listening to the soundtrack for K-pop Demon Hunters. Um, but it is complicated because I can't have copyright music that is copywritten in my stream. Um, I mean, in the little slideshow of all of the patterns I've made recently, I do have my K-pop Demon Hunters Demon Patterns pattern, which is a mouthful. Yeah, I need to. I've been doing some research. Apparently, Twitch has a thing that like you can hook up to your stream where you can listen to music that'll it'll actually let you listen to. I also know there's a way to separate what is recorded in the VOD and what you actually hear on the stream so that I can listen to any music and it doesn't actually get recorded in the VOD, so it doesn't get flagged. But I just haven't. I've been more focused on actually getting art done and less focused on figuring out how to get music playing. The Oh yeah, you missed it earlier. I got really excited about Oxbow Lakes randomly while sketching out rivers. I also tried really, really hard to make all of the rivers at least look like they were following like actual rules that rivers follow, which I'm also aware is incredibly nerdy. I think that's all the water. Yeah, I think I've missed anything. Awesome. Yeah, we've got mountains that are so we've not got any lone mountains, and all of the rivers run north to south, um, and like follow all of the rules that they should follow to the extent that I could make them work here. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna have to get off here. That alarm is for me to get off the stream because I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Um, but I wanted to finish at least. I wanted to be at a good like spot to pause the inking, which I am because I've just done the bye because I've just done the inking of the mountains and the rivers and lakes. So now I am actually hopping off too because meeting and I need to eat. Bye.